Hi, my name is Patrick Reagan. Welcome to the software video series where we discuss how to manage browsers and client emails such as Outlook and how to troubleshoot common software problems. This video, Part 6, Windows Troubleshooting Tools, Part 2, discusses System File Checker, System Protection and Restore Points, and Windows Safe Mode. For those who are going to take the A+ exam, there are practice questions at the end of the video. If you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. If some Windows functions aren't working, Windows crashes or is unstable, or you get messages about missing DLL files, you can use the System File Checker or SFC to scan Windows and restore your files. It will verify the integrity of every protected operating system on your computer. If Windows cannot boot, SFC can be used with the Windows Recovery Media. To use SFC, you would open an elevated command prompt window and execute the following command: SFC/scan now. When the scan is complete, if it has found files to fix, reboot your computer. Windows 10 and 11 includes System Protection, which is a feature that allows users to create restore points and restore their system to a previous state in case of issues. After System Protection is enabled for a drive, System Protection creates restore points periodically or before significant system changes such as installing new software or drivers. System Protection is not enabled by default. These restore points capture a snapshot of a system's configuration, including system files, registry settings, and installed programs, which can be used to revert the system to a previous state if needed. The operating system configuration will revert to the previous date and time, and the user data will not be modified. System Restore does not and should not replace backups. Users can access System Protection settings in Windows by searching for System Protection in the Start menu or Control Panel. The biggest disadvantage of System Protection is that it takes up space. To use System Restore, you need to first enable it for your system drives, such as the C drive, since it usually contains your operating system and application files. You can select the C drive and click the Configure button. Select Turn on System Protection and specify how much space you want to use for System Protection. Click OK twice. After System Protection is enabled, to manually create a restore point, click the Create button, specify a name for the restore point, and click Create. When the restore point is created, click Close. You can also use restore points with the Windows Recovery Media. To perform a system restore, click the System Restore button, and when the System Restore wizard opens, click Next. Select a restore point and click Next, and then on the Confirm Your Restore Point, click Finish. You will be warned that once started, the System Restore cannot be interrupted and asks if you want to continue. Click Yes. Windows will reboot, and you wait until the restore is done. Safe Mode is useful for troubleshooting problems with programs and drivers that might not start correctly or that might prevent Windows from starting correctly. If a problem doesn't reappear when you start in Safe Mode, you can eliminate the default settings and basic device drivers as possible causes. If a recent installed program, device, or driver prevents Windows from running correctly, you can start your computer in Safe Mode and then remove the programs that's causing the problem. To start Windows in Safe Mode, restart the computer, and at the Sign In screen, hold the Shift key down and then click Power Restart. Keep the Shift key pressed until you see Choose an Options screen. Select Troubleshoot, Advanced Options, Startup Settings. Click Restart. You can then click options 4, 5, or 6 to go into Safe Mode. 4. Enable Safe Mode starts Windows with the minimum set of drivers and services. 5. Enable Safe Mode with networking starts Windows in Safe Mode and includes the network drivers and services needed to access the internet or other computers on your network. 6. Enables safe mode with command prompt, starts Windows at safe mode with the command prompt window instead of the usual Windows interface. Log in as a user. Alternatively, to go into safe mode, you can restart the computer 3 times by turning off the computer while the computer is rebooting Windows. This will cause Windows to go into repair mode. In safe mode, you can use the following tools and utilities. Basic system options including use the Windows interface, access files and folders, and perform basic system operations such as copying or deleting files. Use the built-in Windows tools including Task Manager, Command Prompt, System Restore, Disk Cleanup, Device Manager, and Registry Editor. When troubleshooting problems, you may get to the point where you're not able to recover the applications and/or data, and you're just going to have to restore them from backups or reinstall the system. It cannot be emphasized enough, you need to make sure you perform backups regularly and you store the backups in a safe place that is away from the computer that you're backing up. Remember, often when you have problems, it is usually too late to perform a backup. Don't store the backups on the same computer. Question: your application crashes on your computer running Windows 11. Every time you attempt to start the application, you get a message about a missing DLL file. What should you try first to fix the problem? Answer: perform a system file check. Question: what command would you use to perform a system file check? Answer: sfc/scan now. Question: you installed an update and now the computer never gets to a login screen before the error appears. What should you do? Answer: reboot the computer in safe mode. Question: true or false? System Restore is enabled after you install Windows. Answer: false. For more information, visit these sites. In summary, if some Windows functions aren't working, Windows crashes, or Windows is unstable, you can use the System File Checker, or SFC, to scan Windows and restore your files. Windows 10 and 11 include System Protection, which is a feature that allows users to create restore points and restore their system to a previous state in case of issues. Safe Mode is useful for troubleshooting problems with programs and drivers that might not start correctly or that might prevent Windows from starting correctly. It cannot be emphasized enough, you need to make sure you perform backups regularly and you store the backups in a safe place that is away from the computer that you're backing up. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Software, Part 7, Troubleshooting and Solving Common Windows OS Problems. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Thank you.